There we go. That's better. Now I'm moving. That one's frozen. Look at that. See how much this is much cleaner. And then you know, the stream is working with frozen. It's gorgeous. I had to do a quick reset. You know, happens. Alright. So hi, good morning. How are y'all? So here's the thing. As usual, the devil said what we're doing. We're probably probably dead. Get back in there. I'm gonna keep the glamour actually. I kinda liked it. I like it a lot. I like the highlight. So, simple thing. The goal is just to reach 180 to behemoth. I did put some study in, actually a bit. Sasquatch are distance massive. Never fight that close to them. They will even stack. And I forgot the rest. Whoops. But I don't think I shouldn't worry about that until I reach 171. What? What the? Dodo. Potato. Nice. Sleep. Sleep the dodo. Was it so I will be like one and go to 160 then something 170? We've done those before, I'll do them again. Let's go. Let's get to the higher floors. First thing first, intuition. Found the exit. Gremlins everywhere, yes! My favorites. Pudding's my least favorite. Oh, they have a... There we go. Yeah, now it's when the enemy takes a while to kill. Also, they're already over here somewhere. So I'm gonna try to find that. But there's a chest here. I would like the chest. Way over there. Alright. Oh, safety for free. Nice. I can clean the room now. I don't want to pull a gremlin yet. Because there's more stuff to pull. Like all of these. I'll put him first. Before the other shows up. Oh god, right! Do not cast over that. Right, yeah. You're right. You're right. Oh my god! Well, unfortunate displacement into a death's door. Do we have this move at level 60? We do. It's the exact same move. Exact same. Exact same move. I'll get used to it. To use it, then maybe I should not displacement. So for those wondering what happened, I used displacement, right? Which a backflip. And simply said, it's like an animation lock, right? You jump back, you get locked. I can believe in 5 minutes I just lost. Happens. It's a very sad one, but well. Here's the I do have something really already for the joke outfit. I don't have a chest piece place. Oh my god. I don't need this anymore. True. I said it. Market probably that. But it's sell for 432 gills. I'll sell it to gills. More money! Gills! Stop! Should be good enough for now. Wait, so many. Oh, am I using all the rings in here? Almost, yeah, Jesus. There's an armory space. Oh, my pants. And I can just remove these two. Just descend them. I mean, it's almost like 1k kill. There we go. I don't need those, right? I have Moon Ward healing. So these. Sell my Eden gears? I could. I have so many horns. I have so many horns. It's not for 1 gil? Oh, really? How much am I keyboard though? We'll see. Anyway. Biome. Elephant. Elephant. What dye do I have? Can I dye this? We have blue dye. It can be a blue elephant. Yeah, I'm gonna go purple elephant. I am just a joke. Nothing serious in life. I am just a joke. I'm a grape elephant. Free spot. I'm a grape. I'm a grape. Oh, wait. Wrong thing. The fixed party. Turn on for 1. Whoa. I stuck with 4 party. Alright, well, why? Welcome back. Welcome back for 1. I'm very sad. Oh, that's so depressing. Like, I feel like I put some study in there. Like, I worked for it. I was ready for today. Then it's just like, well, no. Death's door. The first time I died from the death's door, though. For sure. I should put the effort in, like, studying the aggro from monster and stuff. Oh. I'm very sad. But like now I know I should not the placement to you guys, because in the dead store, I'm freaking dead. I have no health. I was probably like halfway to my health, something. The dead store. Normally, you can survive it. Normally, if if you're full health, you will survive that store. You will. But I was not, so I died. And thus, I'm sad. And thus, we're back here. Doing the good old for 1 to 50 grind. Woohoo! I had an elephant because I had this sling in my inventory. I was not going back to make a joke glamour. Oh, I'm depressed. I mean, it happens. It's just very bad luck that happens. I don't really know what to talk about. I really have nothing planned for this. I didn't plan to go back to Core 1, so I didn't I didn't have any topic ready at all. Just hear some shooting some joke, guys. Oh, I hate being an elephant too. So it's gross. I don't like the mean glamours. Like the frog, the elephant. Like I like the chicken. Chicken's pretty funny. But chicken suit, that's different. But I kinda like the chicken in general. Chicken was fun. What do we have? We have a chicken, frog, an elephant. Do we have more? I don't think we do, right? They are the only joke we have. As far as I'm aware. You make so much in glamour, man. So if someone see my tweet and it'd be like, oh, from 151 warrior floor out for 1, I died. Like we're like very early on the first 150 floor. Oh, I mean that's what I get from being all overconfident, being like, oh, I've done these 161, 150, 151, 161 before. I've done the bosses before. I'm confident with them. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. It hurts. Getting your confidence smashed down by a meteorite. Like, boom, like, oh. Why am I doing this anymore? For those, if anyone there said, like, oh, you should have having fun, stop. Like, I'm still having fun. I'm just very sad of the mistake I've done. It's a very, like, city one. And also the fact that it was due to what was it, the animation lock, because of the displacement animation. If you play Dragoon, instead of like the jump for Dragoon, where if you jump, like, you know, it's always when you click the jump that the boss will do an AoE. It's like, oh, you jumped in. We have to do the whole animation of like the jump and landing. So by the time the AoE goes out, and they're like, yeah, it's back. And it hurts. So you're like, owie. Oh, if you're still. So, yeah. Not like that, but for Red Mage, like, you, as soon as I displaced, the boss was looking, the enemy was looking at me, and he used that door. So I kinda just died there. And I wasn't full health. And I couldn't move at the time next, or heal. There was nothing I could do. I just died. Maybe I would have if I had steel, but even then, there's no point using a steel at that low level. It was a very unfortunate moment of me to displace. But good to know. I think I need to use engagement a bit more. That's all I did. That's all I need to know. I never used it before. Gotta learn how. Golly dang. Ho ho ho. Oh, I lost. Oh, nice. There's one thing I can do though. I'm always looking forward for the 450 boss, Edda. Oh, I love Edda. It's such a fun boss to play against. She's fun. Wait, I pressed for thunder. How did I core again? Oh, Douglas. Elephant, card group. We have some of their alteration in here. Get some mimics? Maybe? I think the first book is level like 20, right? Right? Some high level. I'm only level 9 or 5. So give me more enemies. Give me more experience. Oh, a strength. Sure. Experience this stuff. And get back out there quick. Back in the world. Back trying. Back working. Working hard. I started to stream someone that I woke up at 7:30, alright? Then I went to check my note for like, no, I was going to like check my notes and everything for the dead. It's like, alright, I'm ready. So I started the stream. Like, alright, we're going in. Then I was going to stream, say hi. Then I died 151. And I cried. Because I was so like, ready, excited. I really want to face Behemoth. People say like, oh, Behemoth will give you nightmare. Yeah, if I can see him. But I might not see him. Or her. I think, what? I swear someone once said that the Behemoth was female. There's someone saying that, I don't know why. I mean, like, I'll believe it, you know? Intuition, give me that sprint. We'll move fast. Okay, this is not the way, because there's the exit. Am I stuck forever for running from floor 1 to floor 150 and dying at the later floor? Never getting the Pegasus ever. I want the Pegasus mount too. This is why it's another excuse why I'm running this. I need the time on artifact. I want the mount. I want the title. This experience I guess I get. I've run this so much. I'm gonna get from level 30 to 31 from Red Mage by doing only this. Only Palace of the Dead. Imagine if I get to level 90 by just doing this. It would be actually so torture. Like, how do you know 90? I didn't know any Red Mage. I'm just like, yeah. I got it by doing only Palace of the Dead. Guys. Also recently saw I don't know, I forget whose name was. It was a like very scuffed run of the for 199. Like it was a kind of someone doing getting their last floor, and they succeeded doing it. It was a very lucky run for the last floor. It was like, oh, congrats! I was so happy for her. And then here I am, still stuck at floor 150. Well, above the first 150. That's very sad. Backers doing these early floors over and over in city suits. Listen, I don't have the frog suit. I think. Do I have the frog suit? Do I have to wear the frog suit next week? Might have to. I don't know what else I could wear. I've worn so many like city suit or something I would not wear normally, like a more like batting suit. I would not wear that normally. I don't like it. But for silliness, to make myself look ridiculous or weird, like now, it's because I'm a freaking clown. It's a very like there's a difference between dying to like a trap or like an enemy. Like when I died to 175, it was me like going there without the guide, nothing. So I was blind, and I died to wolf because I figured, and that's because I was range DPS. So I would double click on enemies, wait, like this by accident, which makes me go auto attack. Because I'm range DPS. By now I would have attacked him already, which I don't want to. I did that by accident on a wolf, on the mechanist. And yeah, they wrecked me because of the dots, and I couldn't heal myself much because I'm a Magnus. Then I put a second one back in because I just ran into one because one spawned. I didn't have any razor anymore to like pop mid, in fight and stuff. So I just died. Then on my red mage, we were 176, and I heard that the Enzu should not be pulled no matter what, but I pulled one anyway because I was like, well, he's in my way. I kind of have to say it. I didn't know that he was sight. I thought he was like radius aggro, which is why I pulled him. When I learned that he was silent aggro, I was like, oh, that was really dumb then. That was really dumb of me pulling him. I could have just wait for him to turn around and just walk past him. Like even though my opponent was it was a really bad run. Like I had almost no more permanent. Was at level 176. Like I needed more permanent than that at that point. So in a way, it was like I wasn't too sad or mad about it. It was more like a silly thing I wanted to do. Like, oh, let's try the Enzu. Like, how about getting 30 base? Like, oh yeah, you destroyed me. Practice for one. But then that down with just have, it's like, oh, I got animation lock and die on my first floor of the stream. The fact that I'm streaming it, I think, is make it worse because it's like, oh, you on your stream, you got really at like doing like the harder floor. Cool, yeah. That's the first one. It's like a public humiliation. It's very unfun. It's unpleasant. That's the word. Yes. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like a right death. It's a silly death. One that I didn't plan. I didn't want. It happened. That was probably one of my first like unwanted death that I just really did not want to happen. And I just feel really bad about. Man. This is about to be that for you. Happens. A lot of time training. And then just everything crushed away. This is not for the weak of hearts. A weak of heart, and I'm not. I'm gonna do this. I'm giving up. I shall become Yokage. Oh. If I swear if I do one more Naruto quote, and you better believe it, I'm gonna end this party. Why? Oh, is this bad if I enjoy the NES versus T series? I really did enjoy it. I have more strength for some reason. Boost me up. Boost the elephant. Boost the elephant. The elephant has powers. Whoop. Nice, all 19. That's two levels. The first floors. Let's go. Let's go. I don't need a ton of experience. Oh. Yeah, we have nothing to talk about. Oh yeah, let's talk about PF. Let's talk about PF. Let's talk about bugs. I don't understand bugs dying when they're supposed to be able to clear, and they die at the 50% mechanic. I'm talking about P2S, by the way. Like, what the frick? I just want my clear. I just want to clear. Like, at this point, I don't care for it to change. I just want to clear. Why? Because if I get a clear, I can then join weakler group, which those I've cleared before, so they're supposed to know what the fuck they're doing. Compared to a random group like, I want you to clear, please help. It's like, no. Learn the fight, then come back. I guess I have a static. Some doesn't have a static, or can't have a static. But still. Intuition? I mean, this. Is there one here? There is one here. It's a 3-room, almost. Oh, it's right here. Yeah. I'm doing more damage. Bang, bang. No, hide on me, no. Don't scare me no more. At least not at this level. That's for sure. Does she want to do more damage? Hello, my heart. Bang, bang. Cool. So I might after like this stream, I might just hang my day trying to get my clear on P2S. I don't care if there's only one chest. I just want my freaking clear. Cause think about this. People that want a first clear are the worst place to go. If you go into a duty complete where everyone is clear already, you have way more chance to clear. Right? Which is why for my first clear, the first one is always scuffed. Right? The weakers are often cleaner. Sometimes like, oh, someone like forgot a little here and this happens. Like I sometimes mess up the numbers, right? I sometimes forget it. I sometimes like, oh, I messed up my tether. I went to the wrong spot or something like that. Hi, boss. I have 3 lost. I could easily just lost the boss. Yeah, let's lost it because mine's still over now. Why not? It's only the first floor. We're gonna have some fun, right? Yeah. The times I'm always like, oh, we're going back to the first floor. It's gonna be like very chill and calm, like chill stream, right? You're like, yeah, no. My plan was to be like a very stressful stream today. Guess what? You're having that today. No. Too sad. I'm pretty sad. Isn't it a fun stream? Oh, I only have one more potato, right? Die! Melee attack. Also like golem. Nice. That took like less than a minute. Time one. Do I have any more poetic? We're going poetics. Like normally I always say like always the first floor, like I'm glad to be back because no, it's gonna be a chill, gonna be calm and chill. I didn't want that. I was really ready for some big stuff today, but guess not. I was trying to grade starting off because they give mimics. Alright, high level means I get more experience. It can be higher level than you wish. No wait, I can be higher level than expected if I have more higher level enemies fight. It'll be harder, they will give me pox probably, but hey, it's worth it for the experience. Do I do not have any healing with this level? I'll be fine! I'll be fine! Revival. If there's a ring trap, I will hit them. I want them. So this needs more enemies. Enemy needs more experience. Also, based on the video I just talked about earlier, like the one of the person that cleared 199. She mentioned something about like a timer of like, oh, it's been like set like 5 minutes or something. Like 2-3 minutes, so it must be, I must have respawned or something. Like, so is there a timer to know when one enemy should spawn somewhere? Because if yes, that's good knowledge to have, for sure. You have to be like mentally ready for like, also to spawn anywhere right now. Like it would be on you. Because often to me it's like, I'm pulling in my room, right? Because I'm pulling and kiting in the room. Ping boy, hi! You're my day brother. Thank you so much. I was thinking to something. Yeah, no, oh my god! Did I give me 2 levels? Just give me 2 levels? Wait, I can check that after. Oh my god, give me 2 levels. They gave me 2600 experience. Holy Christ. Pay Mario for forever. Let's go. That's it's nice. Because when I pull off, then it's like, oh, a mob just pop on me. Oh, no, oh, another iteration. This is the test. Is this a blessed run or a curse run? Mimics or a Pigma away? I swear this chance of mimics just higher later for, I feel. I might be fully wrong one thing, but eh. I hate myself so much. Afterwards! We have some good pointers early on. Nice. I'm gonna open this with no fear. It's a strength chest. Great. Time to kill everything inside. Wait, oh my god, time to help. Man, I'm sad. Like, I need more practice in the higher floor. Like, I do one more practice too. I feel like I'm missing some. More payroll! Only two? Only two, it's fine. Experience. One, two. Oh my god, they're in one level each. Holy Christ. Nice. This is why alteration commanders are amazing. By the way. This is why. I just gained 4 levels from alteration. Then you can see about mimics. You just deal with the mimics. I mean, I guess if you don't have any potion, yeah, that's pretty rough. Yeah. But generally, they're just mimics. They're manageable. They're hard because they're higher level than you. But if you beat them, you get 2 more experience. Mimics disable aren't unconscious, so this could be a mimic. Nope, just some high potion. Hi, Cobra. So if I die to a Cobra because I'm a frog, I will actually laugh because that'll be the first time I see it. And I don't mind, my brain is still like, oh, it's just like a myth. You know, like, Cobra kills you in one shot if you're a frog. Whoa. It's like a thing I believe for sure. Like, I still have never seen it happen. So people are, it's like, it's a ghost. It's real, I swear. Like, oh. Let me do it. Boing boing. Nice. Let's get those levels. Yeah, let's get these levels. Ooh, fortune. Building my empire of commanders. Yes! Yes! My mind! One hit. Oh, stretching my life. Can't steal this elephant booty. Too fast. Running. Zooming. Zoom. I think have you seen one before? I mean, it's only the 30 floors. They get much ahead of the experience curve in the first floor. Oh well. Ooh, more alteration. Look at that. For 15, we gain 8 levels. Heck yeah. Nanka, hi, look at him. I think they're cute, personally. And the Gooboos are very cute. Did you know that? The Gooboos are very cute. Say 4% auto attack, like heck yeah. We're so strong in these early levels. Oh, hi, Cobras. How you doing, sir? More levels! The power! The ninja. Ninja elephant. Oh, if I die, like, if I'm pretty far, if I get hit, do I die? Could I have died right there? Well, I would have never known that before. I was pretty sure I was gonna kill it before I get petrified, but still petrified. Oh, it's a for adventure, look at that. Sadly, I won't get to see her because I'm stuck in here. Well, not stuck. I'm working in here. I'm walking here. Phew. Still hoping my first clear. So far, all I am is a Guardian Angel from Buzzjaw. Because I res so many people. So many people I'm like, res? Is there res? Have a res too. Res? Yes, I love my red maker there too. By the way. But remember, I think I got. Also, I didn't really sort people. honestly didn't raise 200 people in there, but in DR Savage, I got this the achievement of raising 200 people. So like I probably raised like I raised a lot of people in DRS. Because if you don't know, in DR Savage, you cannot revive yourself. There's no, like the raise spell from healer doesn't work. It is not a thing. You cannot. Oh, strength. So the only way to get res is by using a raising action. But they have a low percent of succeeding, even with the pure potions, which lets you have a chance for them to work in there. But I think it is guaranteed to res you is the sacrifice commander, which is only tank can have. The tank will. So for Krog, what I will have in my inventory 4 sacrifice commander for able to res 4 like one soul, sad soul that would die. So at the end of like all polls, I will check if there's any dead, and also be able to like hold their raises, because they have to. Because here's how the raids work here, right? And then I might be wrong because I wasn't a healer in there. But if I remember how it works, is the raise action has 5 uses with a low chance of succeeding the raise, right? So you try 5 times. If you're done, you have to reuse a new action. More paymo. You have to use a new action to get 5 more raises, and yeah, that's what it is. I thought we could have hit the other one. Paymo. Oh, that's strength. Sure. Hi, Oshu. How you doing? You here to poison me again? You toxic behaviors? Look at it, toxic in the air. God dang. I'm thinking like I don't know waste string and seal. Yeah, that's how it works. For the sacrifice action, if you did not have the purity potion active, it will guarantee that you die because it's a sacrifice. You would res guarantee someone else, but you will guarantee kill yourself. If you had the purity potion on active, you have a 70% chance to not die after sacrifice, which is a very good odds. So you guarantee res, and you only have a 3% chance to actually die. So I was the main raiser after pulls to save healer some raising actions. Because in some fight, it is more valuable for the healer to spam the raise on like a DPS, like can like boost it up, or than like someone else, especially when at A4 like with all tanks. I know, especially if you have your tank died, which is very bad by the way. Tank works in your is very important. Oh my god, there's still like there's a wooden member. There's no Cobra anymore, right? So spook. Oh, why do you always put like a trap like just in front of the chest? Then the chest is like a mimic. Like what the frick? Serenity, nice. Hi, Bull Ceiling, how you doing? Pew! From the exit, this is like this is in the middle of everything. So it's like, well, let's just have to explore a bit. This one's gonna take a while because the floor seems pretty big, and there's a lot to do. I think they're just small floors. Quick and easy to kill, high and marble. You're not scary, I'm sorry. You just say big marble. Even the scary ones from 120 from 127. 117. Sorry. And numbers are forgettable sometimes. Yep. Okay, it's not that big. Oh, wait, is it a chest? Oh, it's a chest. Look at that. Oh, you look at me! Look at a fancy little boy! To bring me some souvenir! A mimic! Frick him! I'll kill him! I'll kill this next generation! Where is this? The stubborn? Stub! Oh! Wait, if I do something here, if I do this. Quick did with LBS. Wait, if I put my images, does it still hide everything? Kind of. Wait. Oh. I'm moving the mouse. Bad timing, Oshi, bad timing. Oh, I mean my chat. Oh, frick. Okay, wait. If I do the image, how big can I make it to hide? It is big. Yeah, okay. What I could do in my odd, system. Where is it? I want the move that a bit higher. Okay, move this one a bit higher. We're like right here. Yeah, let's move it a bit here. Yeah. Wow. There you go. So I should see my debuff better. Because the number will always be hidden behind my chat sometimes when I have to like move it. Which makes it for some debuff it would be harder to do. I had to be like live with the fact that I couldn't see my debuff really well in like E2LS. Which was really nice because E2LS I couldn't see my debuffs. You know? So yeah, it was good for the social chat. It was good. Try. I swear if anyone comes in the chat and says, "Didn't you say we were 151 in your tweet?" It's like, I sure said that. Try. Oh, no BT. That's a rare one. Been a while since I got this one. Boop. Oh, it's a long fork too. I mean, here's some correct core. Not that bad. I use core core. It's not my melee. Like it's like I don't have acceleration anyway at this point, so it doesn't really matter. As long as I can sprint. Gotta go fast. Faster. Gotta go fast. Where's the wounded mirror guy? Was like around here, right? Where do you go? Did you guys go poop? I don't know where he is. That was like he's a really fast walker. Like he walks really fast. Like what the heck? Where you at? So there's no enemy. Jesus. That I'm used to like I'm just used to the later floor at this point. Where like massive amount of enemies. I've seen a floor of like some of the later floors. I also heard that they have like generally more enemies. And I saw a full floor like a lot of the flights. Like, oh, twice. It was so much. Oh, is that a mine? Kill. That is why I don't use mines. I don't know how much damage it does really. I tried to use it. Maybe you should have waited for it to be lower health. Maybe. I don't know. I've never done it before. That's the first time. Try using like mines for stuff. No one remembers. Bye. 34. Got some good experience. Like heck yeah. So great experience. I should be level 35 by the boss, which is great. Very good. Thank you, big boy. You're so great and lovable. Made it. Minute. 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 I'm a melee. I'm a limited melee chump. Kind of. Ooh. More HP, more steel, because why not? We need the buffs, I guess. Give me the strength to kill my enemies. I'll slay them in the flame. I'm going real crazy. Man. Like, for sure, what the hardest precedent to get necromancers, the fact that you have to start from the for one. It's very like hard on the head. It's like, oh, it's my whole rise of marble right there. No one remembers. Oh, you did it! Poof! Hi, Marble, come here. See, if I could try to like speedrun the first floor and just not do experience stuff. But it'll make the later floor just easier, you know. But I never want to skip it. If I want to like speedrun the third though, if I want like speedrun it, yeah, I'll do it. I should try that. Like I speedrun start, and just like I'm gonna ignore most of the thing and just attempt without leveling dirty floors, which is nothing you should do because in theory you want to be able to see by the time you get to Edda, right? Which by leveling early you find like some very easy enemies and you can see like I don't even need to think, which is why I'm talking so much, because I don't need to think out what I'm doing. Like the traps doesn't matter, the enemies they don't matter, they do nothing risky at all. Maybe like the more bold with a bad bread, but then again, just avoid the AoE. It's they tell you where it's hitting. There's markers. Come here. Stop. But again, it's like there's not really any risk. Or the risks are very low. There's still obviously risk. I have died to these lower floors on my first runs, earlier runs. I think my first ever death is I was going as a paladin. But you know, people say like try with your favorite job, so I went as a paladin. So as a tank, and it took me 40 minutes to clear like the first rooms because it's a paladin. I don't do much damage. Damage low. I didn't like that. Like, but like I didn't have to worry for anything. I would like pull like 2 enemies, start hitting, stuff like that. Then again, I fought a turtle at 32, and I thought I could stun the turtle because I'm used to like having more enemy be able to like being stunned. I was low health. Thing was doing a marker. I took the stun, resist the stun. I see the resist stun, panic. Try to move out of the AoE, hope that I'm a tank so I could survive it. No. I died for 32 by a turtle. On my first ever run. So like it happens. It was like, oh, haha, funny. I died to a turtle. I laughed it off. But my first run, I didn't know my thing. Pretty scuffed. Then my second run, I went on like Red Mage. Because I'm like, I like Red Mage. Very curious when I get it will be very nice and will make me feel like safer since my experience. Oh, first mix. Bad timing. But you're 27, so pretty weak. It's pretty gosh dang weak. Oh, show the full chest. It's still sure. It's still for the ball. Sure, thanks. Hi, you fish. So yeah, I died to this boss. On my second run, I died with this boss. You may ask why? Because the second hit of this thing hurts like a freaking truck. What though? Flame buster. There we go. And that stuff right here, it hurts. I hate her spot. I can do my melee attack soon. And then use a lot because I just wanted to use a full energy. Totally safe. I like safe strategies. You know what I hate the most? When I die, I have to redo the 140 boss. And I hate it so much. I'm so bad at it. It's not even funny. I'm brave. Oh no, why would I ever do? I'm gonna kill the ads to be safe. Again, I like to be safe. If you like safe strategies, do what I do. I said I get hit by a button, right? Rodent Stench. Try this. Be the third one. Bam, yeah. But if you know why we killed the ad, because the ad will cast Final Sting on you, and that will kill you. If you're in the tank. Or like big to down. Final Sting doesn't kill, it's just like it's a very damaging attack. You know? Actually, I wonder how you can Behemoth with other classes. Like Bard. What are you doing with Bard? Sounds like really hard. I wonder. You know, it's dual because every class in the game has cleared Behemoth. I level up! I level 81! Look at that! Level 81 by only doing Planet of the Dead. Doable. Who said I couldn't level up in here? I said that because it's freaking stuck for me here. Why would you want to level in here? God dang, crazy? You better be. Alright, these freaking drakes. I can sleep. Oh heck yeah! You're gonna freaking die. Double overturn, dude. Yeah, the mechanics like they have like the scales, which makes me get counter damage, which is just annoying. I've died to that once again. Yeah, I've died to that again once. I had a landmine while pulling a Drake, and the Drake has just pulled the smothering scale, and because of the scales, I auto attack because I'm a mermaid, right? And I get the sequence of actions, right? Landmine, Drake, scale. I attack, realize the scale, drop a potion, my catcher auto attack. I'm no health because I was auto attacked by him and by myself, and I kill myself. So see, I took almost half my health because I attacked with a swimming scale. It hurt. There's the exit, don't care, new experience. So we should be level like 45 when we come out of here. Pretty much. Here's a turtle! Again, this is a turtle. I died to a turtle before. So thank. Hand it to me. One thing I've learned though, doing is that you should never be ashamed of dying because it can happen so easily. Like you do one small slip up and oh, I died. Like it happened to me just now. I did displacement at the worst possible time. Get one shot by Dead's Door, which is very strong and fast AoE. I forgot the enemy has the Dead Door that gets very fast. Was I prepared? No. I was prepared. I just, again, to say bad timings. I'm just sleeping. Screw you. Hate them. Love sleep. Sleep is so nice. It saves me a lot of. It actually saved me on last run. That time for when I double pullbacks and Gourmet come to me. We know that the Gourmet Goboos can be slept. All enemies can be sleep. It is useful. I think the Arimet can be slept too. Or the one resisted. I remember being pulled by Arimet by accident. I don't remember. What I want to do for the next time I get very far in here, I want to have notes of like all the enemy aggros and have like a quick list next to me. I need that to work. So, oh, there's another. Oh, there's a Drake here. Hi, Drake. Oh, hi, Mark. Hi, Drake. Do your thing. I stare you. I dare you. prick. You shall die for such taking sin. Words I don't have in my mouth. My word. Phew. I believe right now all the mimics are in chess. So, not to worry about those yet. Okay, there's really no mimics for a long time. And I'm dead. Here. Have at ya. Phew. Ooh, turtle spawn. Listen, I'm farming my experience here. At for like 42, we'll be done with this. For 42, we'll be like zooming through. So we'll be level 60 by then, hopefully, or something like that. Again, I wish I could get more like the alteration. Oh, there's roamers here. Oh, hello. Didn't know that. Didn't see you coming. Hello. Welcome. Bye. Have a good day. I mean, hey, the XP just walk out to me. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? It is. That's the answer. Amazing. The one time I didn't mind being spooked by roamer in my back. One time. Oh, I have to do the gargoyle floor again. I don't like the gargoyle floor. I don't like the 121. It scares me. Hey, more sight. Look at that. I'm holding in. What the freak now? Phew. Jojo! Stretching. More sight! Oh my god. Why is it with all the sight? It's a 3-room floor anyway, mate. What do we need? The sight. It's the second floor. Oh, high piece. And cute. Oh, there's a roller. Can die, thank you. One, two. Here's the second two. I dodged. Oh my god. Amazing. Look. And yeah. That's it. I won't even hide that. Oh my god. Look at those heels. Look at dang steel ankles. Hi, Delay, come here. Frick you when you scale, you prick. Frick you. Banana slam ya. Oh, hi, P. Fiesta. I'm gonna kill him. I don't care. When they're low, they can be killed. Simply. Like, right, if they're low on health, damage will kill them, right? Fire! A motorcycle. Nothing more. The leg looks so weird to me. I don't like it. I don't like an elephant. More steel. Jesus. I mean, I'm an elephant. I'm supposed to be tanky. Right? 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 That's the whole plan. I want to make a frog be a fortune DPS frog. Through my tongue, blah, 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 like Yoshi style. Blah. Engagement. Oh my god, I got so much. Okay. Yay! Useless stats. For now, it's just useless. I love you, HP increase. As of now, it's kind of useless. Sorry to tell you. I was saying level 41? Oh, Christ. I don't remember that being this high level. We did some pretty good farming and still like slightly lower the level. Jeez. It's surprising. Briefly saying, here's a crit. 400 damage. Wow. Because of the stat push. I personally enjoy the stat push. It feels great, right? There's something that feels out of place. The Stormblood versus actually the raid puzzle in the raid. Wait. The normal raid boss in Stormblood, yeah, those. They actually don't die, they actually do mechanics. It's amazing. And they're also very simple, so the thing works to say. The people still die to them so for some reason. Don't know why. Like I was doing once chaos, and the whole party just die to like one mechanic over and over. I thought it was a pretty simple mechanic. Which one? Oh, I don't know. All the freaking things. The elements. And it made me enjoy the chaos fight even more. Because I was like, wow, it does things. It's amazing. There's a DPS check in that fight apparently. Didn't know that. There's a big tornado in the middle like after at some point. I didn't know that. There's so much that I didn't know. I didn't know that it existed in there. It's like, it's really cool. The only fight that like kind of drags on is the Omega fight, not the 12, the 11, because they just loop and you do like the left foot starboard large board, the stack, the fist, and you just redo the same thing over and over again. Just kind of not point really well. I don't know, I enjoy it. The only thing that feels weird, it feels like the reborn enemies die faster. Even faster than they used to. To me, that's how it feels. People ask the opposite, but I don't believe them. They're liars. I've never had trust in them anyway. So, yeah, I don't know. Feels weird, but I kinda like it. Heaven's Words feels nice. Showbringer just feels boring as it felt before. I don't know, like I'm honestly a very freaking person that's like over 30 wise, Showbringer is amazing. Gorgeous. But I prefer Stormblood in terms of gameplay. So much more. I'm talking about the right, I'm talking about just the dungeons. The dungeon, like the main quest scenario dungeon and the trials. AD was okay. And that was pretty cool. Talking about normal by the way. And Tanya, I loved it, Tanya. But it was just like that's all I can remember from the fight. And the colors. Pretty colors. When Stormblood had Susano with the farting sword moment, which is it hits you like whoa. This is amazing. And I was like, I wanted to do a fight like right again and just to do it again. Just no, not bad. I swear if you have a rage in there, I should take it because I don't have any rage actually. Any rage please. Like I love Susano's. The fight is just really cool. The sword is super fun. It's like whoa. Like I saw it like one time you do like no, the second time there was Sephiroth, but back then I don't think I did Sephiroth. Back then, because I was going to the main quest. No, I should have done it. I put that Sephiroth. But like for a main scenario thing, it was like from small to big. It's like whoa, I pull the sword. It's like oh my god, pull out the freaking sword. I just see the tank. It was when like I used to play tank, and I was always playing tank on the side in the roulette, and the healer in my main quest. So my healer was leveling, and my tank was like sort of back. When I was playing a scholar. I remember the second time I got to Sino ever. I asked the party and tanks and healers, as the healer, if I could block the sword because I just thought it was so cool. and like I wanted to build a sword. It was super fun. And we have like Shimi, which is like not a like amazing fight, but like introduce a new gimmick of like the action logo, which like I think it's pretty cool things, like a side button that you need to click for some mechanics. In the extreme version, apparently you only have 3 max, but in the more you have 10 of them, of like little blue things. And like music is great. I love this. I have a small. I do have a. What's the word? The word thing. But you know when you like prioritize something because oh I like them or something like that. Prioritize? No. Give? No. It's a word I'm looking for. It's a word I'm looking for. Can't find it. I'm not talking, I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Like I'm one-sided mentally. You know what? I forgot the word. It's like saying like, oh, I love snow because I live in snow and I like making snowmen. So I'm like, I'm used to snow and I like it. And I hate that I can't remember. But anyway, yeah. So I love snakes. I think that are really pretty. I love them. So I just kind of love their primers, like Jimmy. Also, to me, I just think that the music is really fun. The fight was pleasant. I liked it. Not too hard, fun. And then at the end we have Shinryu, which was just like an amazing fight. It was such a cool fight. Ooh, first loom! And oh. Thanks for the steal. I'll use it well. Oh, hi, Minotaur. Hey, buddy, friend. Listen, you beef? Maybe I should not put him in the room. Too late. I'm elevator. Anyway. Pew! I'm not scared of you, whoever on these floors. Hey, y'all. I'm 2 level above you. Compared to like Shadowbringer, we have. There we go. Yeah, she's help us. Oh. But yeah, I think Stormblood was a better expansion, gameplay-wise, than Shadowbringer. The dungeon I think was really boring. Shadowbringer. Stormblood, what are we having against Stormblood? We have. I mean, I haven't even won Stormblood pretty much. There's the first one is the ghost things, like ooh, ghosty. Then we have the Nedem Step, which is just really cool because it's surrounded up. The second boss in Nedem Step is so like you're unique. It's just like a dodging ghost sorcerer minigame boss. I personally really enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it today. Pigboy! Oh, thank God we have a Gloom Mimic. Oh God, great experience, boys. 1, 2, 3. Boom! It's a bit delayed. Flash! Pew! A flashette! Bam! And for those saying it, you say the word it's flesh. It's just like the word F-L-E-S-H, the same pronunciation, but it's French, so it doesn't mean flesh. It means flesh. Yeah. But even then, it's not written correctly. So. Just saying. Oh, Minotaur, hi, how are you? How you doing? Well, I'm just going through, you know, knowing me. Phew. Wow, a gloom floor was it? Oh, they said it was a gloom floor. I mean, yeah, I had 7 strength, so. Oh, wow, of course, I get it by trap. Did I find a safety? Of course. There's a whole joke. Gosh dang it. What dungeon do we have yet for Stormblood? Because Shadowbringer are all the same. They sort of like go find the Dark Warden. Like that is the purpose of all the dungeons except Mongol. Mongol was pretty cool, but all the other ones were kind of boring. Like in the Stormblood. Oh, hi. The first one is because your ship got stopped by something. It's like a ghost, like dragging your ship. It's like ooh, ghost, spooky. cool. It's like you remind me of Oak Manor for like being the spookiness, like spooky dungeon. I liked it a lot. Then wait, I don't remember every dungeon, but there's like that Madame Step. That's like a 65 dungeon. Why is it 63 dungeon again? 63 dungeon. Wait, you go where? I know there's one with in Guardian stuff somewhere. That's patch. That's level 70. Not the castle is level 87, 67. Quick castle, that's a 71. Oh, what is this? I'm trying to think so much right now. Which I can't because this is the early floor. I can just think. What is the second dungeon of Stormblood? What was it? Oh, I'm so upset I can't remember. I'm trying to do the whole story right now in my head. But it's Hold of Sunblood. After the ghost ship, so it's after when you get to the east. Yeah, it has to be after when you get to the east. What is the east? Oh, it's the Ruby Tide. The Jedi Tide. That's the one. When you get the what? But now it's an optional dungeon now. It was not in the main quest anymore. Like remove it from the main quest. And that's SMQ. So that's why I forgot it. It's not part of the SMQ. It's an optional dungeon level 63 now. So yeah. That. I love that dungeon. I've read that dungeon so much, and the glamour is great, and the story is really nice. Then we have Madame Step, level 65, which is part of like you going to like a challenge for the warrior of the Madame Step to prove yourself. Then you get a mount, the old mount, which is a great mount. I love the bird, good bird. Then you have the castle. You say each Shikama castle gets the one dude that became Doom guy. Felt bad for the guy. Then you fight him, he was dying. He was good to you. Sad. Then you go to stuff happens. Sorry. Get to that one spot and you get to Alamigo. To Alamigo, fight Xenos. To the dungeons. I might be missing one. Oh wait, whoops. Sleeping elephant. My neck is at almost a 90 degree. It's now more like a 90, like a 95, 100 degree. Approximately. It was the dungeon of Mexico Stormblood. All meaningful, all good. Then you have the Shadowbringer dungeon, right? Shadowbringer, you have gotta kill a White Warden. Gotta kill Guy Warden 2, gotta kill Light Warden 3. Oh, gotta kill another Warden 4 again. Another Light Warden, another Light Warden. Oh, Mongol is really cool. And then you have Amarot. Like I said, you have Amarot. That's pretty cool. I don't know. That's weird. Like, story-wise, it's amazing. Gameplay-wise, it's like... I like the ads that like attach to someone random. You have to kill them because the tank can take the aggro off of them. I like those. Like the boss are kind of. It's a good dungeon. Let me think. It's a good one. But like, what I'm trying to compare is that all the summer dungeons are pretty cool. All of them. I love them all. I like them all. But Shadowbringer dungeons are just like, they're kind of just like. They're there. There's two really good ones, but the rest is just kind of and I don't like them. Maybe because now I've done Quick and Unravel so freaking much. I just hate it at this point. Because I just know it perfectly. It's annoying. I hate it. Maybe there's a bit of spite here and there, but you're looking back on it, it's like it's a lot of ads. The ads are all really fun. then it's just like, why are you there? Oh, you get I like your light ward. The first dungeon also same first dungeon. It's like obviously like it blends with the story really well. That oh, there's a light ward in there and there, but the whole time it's like, it's always the same riddle. And then every time it's like, oh, watch out, you're getting bad. It's like, then we're just gonna keep going. Okay. I don't know. The meaning behind the dungeon were like nuts for me, but they did introduce the stress system. They did introduce the stress system, which I've never used yet. Apparently, it's pretty fun. So I can give it on that. Alright, I'll give it the trust system. I'll give it on equal ground. So story-wise, they win and stuff, but alright. But then Heaven's Word. Heaven's Word was weird. I don't know. Do we talk about Heaven's Words? People say like everyone's like one of the best expansions. Like you'll love it. I didn't enjoy it that much. Again, I'm not the biggest Dragon fan. I love lizards. I love reptiles. Dragons fits in there, but I wasn't like too much into the whole story of the castle and knights. Not much. Wasn't like too much for me. I just hated it the entire time. It's all well I enjoyed since the first time we saw it. Since the first time we saw it Never Reborn. I was really happy to have Isel with us, Isel. I seen I hate it, he's still there. No, he's with us. Ugh. He's a funny guy, but there's a face. Then what else? We have Orchefon, he died, sure, why not? What else? Well, that though, when that character, no, that hit pretty hard. That's all. Losing a son, oof. It's like really good, like, yeah, I say like, my thing was pretty good. Obviously, Reborn has to be last, sadly. No, that's bad. I enjoy it, Reborn. But compared to the expansion, yeah, it was worse than the expansion. No, actually, the expansion are better than the base game. Let's say the base game is bad. There are people like in free trial that are just playing Event Wars and they're Reborn and they're still playing it. Is that bad? No. They do them. Phew! They've been scared. They're gonna be moving in the middle. They've been scared. Oh, wait, by the way, it's gonna be out of the blue. Do you know what I watched yesterday? I watched the from what was it? Metal Gear Raising Vengeance, Revengeance or something like that. I saw the Armstrongs fight, and I'm like, because I always hear like, oh, the Armstrongs fight music and stuff. It's like you get beat up while talking about politics. It's actually cool. So I watched it because it just showed up in my recommendation on YouTube. Because I've been listening to some Metal Gear Rising Revengeance music. The boss fight music is really good, like surprisingly super good. So I watched the Armstrong fight with cutscene and everything. First off, the gameplay looks weird. I mean, it looked rough. Gameplay voice acting is very rough, I feel, on the game. But like the whole talk with sort of yeah, it's wow, it's a talk. It's a beat of the what? Frick. When Armstrong like put the hand to whatever the guy's name is, Jack his name is, the robot guy. He put his hand to Jack. Jack's like, yeah, what's wrong? Like, that when the moment I have was like, oh my god. Then he's just like, you know, bait him out for that. I was like, this is an amazing moment that you beat off. Like it really looked like it's a fight of ideals, and then for the end, they just like it's a successor because Jack's technically does what he wanted as a dream. Like, whoa, what's such a cool fight! And the quotes, you don't ever deserve. And all the quotes like nano machine. So many quotes can get on that fight. It's so good. Like it can be memey. It's weird. It's almost for world breaking in a way or not. Like they're talking about memes and internet and dumb celebrity media stuff. Like, Wow, it was very strong. Good message, in a way. I mean, yeah, good message. Don't start a war for the economy, but in a way, I mean, like, it was really good. It was really well done. It's like, wow. I can see why the fight was like talk about. Then the music pick up for the last phase thing, and oh Christ, like, whoa, it's really cool. I heard the game's like pretty mediocre, like gameplay wise and stuff, but like it's a gem in a way because the music, again, gorgeous music and stuff. Alright, let's count the ball. This is the count the ball boss. Ow! 1, 2. I didn't even do. I don't put those. I'm using a steel, another Mercury yet, so. Oh, yeah. Stop. 3 ball. 4 balls. I'm going to metal. Fear itself. Casting fear. Oh my god, you're very slow. Moving stuff. I'm using my apology because I don't have a steel, and I want to risk too much. As you get die already. Yep. The Raven is very strong at low level. Remaining? What do you mean? You've been doing this whole floor? Gosh dang. That's 3? That's 3. Enough time to go back. Oh, my time I have. My sweet booty time. I'm so bored. Metal. Whee! Flying elephant. I'm Jimbo. Watch this. Whee! Gosh, I think I really hate. I really hate this boss. Because the boss is so simple, but it hurts so much. It's fudging so hard, mate. I hate it. I have to use 3 pots for this. For 30. Theirs didn't feel like using steel. Happens. No, no time worm. Come on. Wait, in my finger. Wait, what is it? Do I have water? There you go. I need to use some water. The coughing from a dry throat, which is not fun. Now the mimics are in gold chest, same level 50, 10 levels and we're done. I mean, not even 9 levels because it's already level 51. Look at that. Wait, what? Inside? What do you mean you're inside? What? Yeah, level 51 already. This thing's level 48. That sounds super easy. Super simple. Mimic? Nope, witching. I actually want mimics because they give more experience. My experience is good. Or still, I mean, sure, I'll take that. I think what annoyed me the most, Present Dead, by having to redo it over and over again, that I've yet to have practice in the very hard floor, and especially on the Godfather. Because I've heard, everyone that will say is that Godfather is the hardest boss in the whole Present Dead, and it's also probably the hardest one for Red Mage, specifically. So I'm like, I play Red Mage and I've never I've killed everything. What the fuck do you want from me? And I've never fought him, so you know, I feel quite insecure if you're going for him. Like, I've heard tales of like, oh, you can run out of time fighting him because he hurts a lot and you need to have a lot of time. You didn't get enough doing the floors before him. He's very hard, like, time-wise. It takes time. He hits very hard. Watch out. If you want to get only one skill usage, you have to do it in 8 minutes, which you need to time your loss really well and stuff. You have to know the rotation. You have to know when the things come up and stuff. It's like doable, but like having to have a pot at all time, no matter what, pot the freaking regen just to live. It's like, holy Christ. I'm very scared of the boss. I'm more scared of the Godfather than Behemoth. Because for Behemoth I have Vercure. And I think it just said that Red Mage is probably the easiest job to do Behemoth, as I heard. Again, as I've heard. They'll have wards everywhere. There's no to heal here. Oh, you little pricky pickle. But also that apparently the floor from 181 to 190 are also some of the hardest. Because of the enemy just can take forever to get, and then you need to be very fast so the boss can not done the boss. Because the boss is very hard. Like, no, I'm very scared. And I've never played that before ever. All I know is like tip and tricks here and there. Using a rage for 2 core will be like gorgeous if you can do that. But if you can save them. Like, if is having a steal more worth it? Personally, I think that if I have like a gloom floor with no ability, for sure a rage to be used. For a side mix with it would be used, so I can know make my way through it at the end. Like, I was told that from 181 to 190, if you need to use a pointer, you use them. You shouldn't. Obviously, you should try and hold them the best you can. For the 191 to 191 to 200, because that's like, you know, the last go. I have no to heal and I hit a landmine. Potion. That should be enough. Oh my god, there's all those traps the first time. It should be an achievement for reading like traps in Path of Dead. Watch this. Oh yeah. I'm really scared. Obviously dying to a 190 floor or something hurts. Because all that time is like, well, you failed. It's like, I'm here for another round. I'm here for more. And there's my silent attack. What the heck? The worst thing that can happen, as always, is to be overconfident. And that is what happened on 151. I was only looking forward 171 and above. I forgot 151, and stuff can still kill you if you're not careful. I was not careful. I will always be overconfident for 1250 though, for sure, because gosh, dang, is it boring? Like, the reason why I talk so much during the raise back to 450 is because, like, what else am I to do? I can't talk. Like, from when I'm in floor, like 101 and above, I don't talk much because I'm just very focused. I'm stressed. I'm thinking a lot. During Savage, I don't speak too much. No, there's also 8 people. I'm trying to not cover the comms, of course. Look at Succubus. I love them. Oh, pretty they are. Gorgeous. Love them. Fun fact. Have you ever tried to... Okay, so I'm a PS5 player, right? I played on PS4 before. I think that's really funny is that obviously your game I'm talking about Final Fantasy 14 by the way, still. On Final Fantasy 14, when you switch between your PS5, PS4, obviously like what you have in your inventory here and there and all that, like obviously all that's still the same because that's from the servers. But there's so much stuff that's changed, like what minions you have out, your odd layout, everything that's HUD related is how it was before you go. Your minion is the one before you go. For some reason. That's a weird one. I don't know how it works. But like, so I have with me. I have at all time my Senorita Sabotender because I love her. Gorgeous little Sabotender, dance. I have a balloon as a cute little tuxedo. Gorgeous, love her. Smoosh. I love cat shorts. Alright, I really like cat shorts. I'm sure we have a cat short emote lurking under the ground from like the old games when I was playing the Final Fantasy X for the first time. What was it? 8? I forgot which one it was. Final Fantasy 9. Final Fantasy 9, the cat short that just hide in the ground and you beat him up. That's when he came out and like punch needles out of you. It's like panic. But you need to do that if you want to do it. The Thousand Needle Blue Mage spell for that one character that I forgot the name of. The eating machine. I do like the character. I really like 9. I should play 9 again. I really like. I almost want to. Because Final Fantasy 9 is really fun. It is my favorite Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy 9 is my favorite game. I also love the Osma fight. We could try for like a achievement run where we try and go get all the achievements. So I'll have to play the Tetra card, which I fucking suck at. I don't know if you know the streamer. There's a streamer called Chichen. A good guy. You should check him out. And he did his first playthrough of Final Fantasy 9, so I couldn't be with him like during the whole time, though I wish I would. And for some reason he played Tetra Master, the card game, and for some reason he just kept on winning. It's like, what the frick? The only thing that if I'm playing Final Fantasy 9 again, the only thing I would not be looking for is doing the Chocobo farm again with all the cards and stuff. It won't be that bad because it's the remastered version, so I can use the time speed up, which works so much well. If I didn't have this time speed up, I don't know if I would have went to Osma. I won't lie to you. Like maybe I could like try Steiner a bit more. Like figure him a bit better. Cause I didn't like him the first time I played that. Maybe I could do like, you know, try some different team up. Because at the end I had, oh god, there's so much I played. I had Freya, the dragoon rat woman. I had the monk dude because I just found him very strong and useful with like utility wise. And I had Echo because I love Echo, which is just really hard. Love her. And today, because can't even play that in my party. Like, my first playthrough of Final Fantasy 9 I did it with like no guide, nothing. So I knew nothing. I didn't know like, oh, you could still learn them from this guy if you do this, or you could do this and this and that. If I replay Final Fantasy 9, I would like to play it again with like a guide for achievements, saying like, oh, if you do at this point again, you can go do this, and there's a side quest you can do this. Like I didn't do all the side quests. There was like one about like the car. Apparently there's an old man in the first towns, right? Like, he wants like some coffee and stuff. You can jump back and do things. But I think I started a lot of side quests, but I never finished them or something like that. There's a lot of things that just didn't work out pretty well. I just never finished. Like all the fight stuff, I did them pretty well, I think. So yeah, I would like to redo it and you try it in the eye of like someone that knows what's going to happen and stuff. Understanding like what Kuga's thing are. I think it'll be fun. I'm playing my favorite Final Fantasy game. The music of Final Fantasy, oh, it's so good. I adore the Overworld team. The Black Mage Village team, oh, banger. The Overworld team is just, if I ever can become a parent of a kid, of a little baby, you bet for it too. I'm gonna play the Final Fantasy 9 Overworld team because it felt like a kid listening to it. Like it was so pretty, such a nice, calm suit team. I loved it. You know what? I don't. Would I get copyright if I play like song on stream? Like, screw this. I'm gonna play like Final Fantasy 9 music while doing these. Good old overworld team. I could make the whole world team of Final Fantasy gameplay. I don't think the 7 one. But I don't like that one, I guess. People like Final Fantasy 7 apparently. I don't know why. They do. People do be weird sometimes. Listen, I don't like Final Fantasy 7 because the villain is just bad and dumb. The characters, most of them are just not very interesting. The most interesting are your first trees and Yuffie. I love Yuffie. Yuffie's great. Like Tifa's great. Barret has a great like story in the canyon. Cloud just sucks. I hate Cloud. He's boring. Y'all like, oh, memory problem. No, I'm not what you say I am. One baby. God dang. Get on with the system, Cloud. God dang. Tifa lying or not saying anything also annoys me. Annoys the crap out of me. Like, what the frick, Tifa? Are you his friend or not? Keeping these lies just like that and saying nothing? Like, what the frick? Yuffie's great. She's quirky. She's funny. She was my main DPS too somehow. Though that's why. I hate if I can easily miss like all the big materials. The grind Final 7 is just, ugh, not fun. To get the stuff you have to do gold saucer stuff. The gold saucer is annoying because no way I have 30,000 or 3,000 gills to get the free pass and come back here free forever. I don't have the money. I don't want to grind that. No. For each party member, it's boring. The gameplay is, yes, it's okay. Final Fantasy 8 was better in gameplay wise. It was way harder though. But it was also a very easy game. It's a very easy game. Like, holy cow, is it easy? God damn. Final Fantasy 9 kicked my butt a bit. Stuff like that. I think, but yeah, if we like, ooh, yeah, baby. If we look down, it's like my favorite Final Fantasy game being a Final Fantasy 9 because it's based. If I recall, Final Fantasy 9 was like back to the roots, back to like Final Fantasy 1 stuff. The creators that created Final Fantasy 1 like came back. They redid like a cool old classic, and it was amazing. Like, props to that. Music was gorgeous. The story was great. Characters were great. They had story. Garnet became purely useless mid-game because she was like, I'm paranoid, before she has like her big moment where she could get all back her summons and she became like summon white mage crossbreed. It was like gorgeous. You know, like infecting gameplay. Oh yeah, by the way, Aerith sucks. Like, I don't know how can anyone be sad losing her. I didn't even use her once. I just used Cloud as a healer. Aerith, useless. When Aerith was dead, I was actually happy. It was like, oh, she's gone? Oh, sweet. Bye. Trash taken care of, and goodbye. All mysterious and stuff like, ah, the ancient. The story is also very confusing. The story is very confusing. The story is not well explained at all in the story in the game. Maybe I just misunderstood it. But then again, as a first time experience, I feel like the story should be well put in front of you. No? 14 is an amazing story just laid out in front of you. If you remember details, god damn my boy. My gal, you're gonna love it. If you remember the details like from previous expansion and you go to the new expansion, god dang. Me doing Endwalker, when, oh, the mimic. When, what was it? When we're in Nalamigo. And I'll just pull it first. When we're in Nalamigo and we have like everyone gathering together, you see all the guild master. Oh, it's so cool because all the girls are like I knew them and they said something like, "Oh, hi Mariko," like the kid that's from something something. Like I love seeing them back. I knew every character because I did the quest and they were in and stuff. It's like it was really cool. Cool callbacks. Yep. Oh god. Oh, he's dead. I have dual cast on. Maybe I want to lose dual cast actually. Yeah. So I want to dual cast Ferraro into Thunder. The big hit. Big hitter. Oh, we do this, and we go for melee. That should kill him in time. As you can see, it's a silver chest. So silver chests are mimics in here. Ooh, strength. Also, good mimic kill. Look at that. Look at us going. Being good and all. Pigmo. Oh, how much experience did they give? They give 35,000 experience. Holy Christ. Nice. That's a lot of experience. 35,000. Oh boy. We're really high level for 436. By the way. Yeah, we're gonna be 60 like real fast. Watch this. Wow, meow noises. Again, that makes no sense. Like, why do they do cat noises? They're not cats. They're a freaking eyeball. Ooh, affluence. Sure, why not? I'm an elephant. Oh, I didn't pick the chest up. Thank you. Oh yeah. So, in short, yes, I hate Final Fantasy 7. It's just a very boring game, which is why the remake, I really don't care about the remake. I tried the remake, I tried the demo of it. I actually did not enjoy it. The gameplay is just not my style. And people say like, oh, can you put the wait command? It's like, it just feels worse. Like I really hope Final Fantasy 16 feels good for the action combat. I really hope. Because what we saw so far looks really good. And I would like to enjoy another Final Fantasy game. Because like 14 is great, 15 sucks. Wait, if we go like from top to bottom, 15 sucks, 15 is amazing, 13 never played it. Can't play it because there's no platform that I can play on. The console platform. You can say like you can play on Steam, yeah, but I don't have a computer, I have a laptop. You know how much like so you know what? Here's something to maybe to understand. I played Inscription, right? I tried the demo of Inscription. I'm sure people know about it by now. They're really I tried it, they're really fun. Like I watched my Power play it and I'm really loving it. It's like now I tried the demo by myself and it's actually really fun. I actually really enjoyed it playing the card game. What I did for me, you know when you can boost your card damage, I boost my Undying Cat. I could just sacrifice non-stop. So I just had I boost my sacrifice cat so much. You had a oh god, I killed 2 monks. Oh god. What was it? He has 2 things. He has the wait. It was 2-1 because I boosted twice with the fire. And then I had a little wolf, the younger wolf that transformed after a turn, and I gave that to this cat. So the cat would transform after 1 turn and gain 1 attack. So the first turn I would have a 2-1 cat, and the next one I would have a 3-1 cat that I could not sacrifice. That would be in the game until someone killed it, and until he dies, I could just pop more wolf. Wolf. So I would just have a wolf deck. Oh, it's a dark dude. This cat's dark very much or less often used. It being used the higher floor one. Oh, we had 3 purity. Oh, didn't know that. I thought that I had none. I was looking at the other one. The alteration commander slot. Wrong slot looking. Oh, 58. Let's go. Important. Let's go. Next modification. I'm getting all the abilities. like late level. That's redneck for you. We're for 37? Holy Christ. We're overpowered! Look at me! Look at me go! Look at me go! Woo. Have you ever seen Suction Cup Man? It's a great little cartoon. You should totally check it. A bit vulgar. It's pretty vulgar. But, you know, it's like, it's still very funny. For me, that's like, I hate vulgar humor. In general, I don't like it. I think it's like unoriginal. Well, when done right, it can be done right. Like when the character, here's the issue with vulgar humor. People will sometimes think like, oh, if you use vulgar, it's like we think haha F word, and like that's all they can say. But no, it's very annoying. I have a coworker in the kitchen. You cannot have a curse word somewhere in this sentence, never. And I hate him. Like, don't you know any decency word to talk with normal people? Like, gosh, stop! I hate him. He's so annoying. He sounds like a young teenager just discovered the F word. Like, what the frick? Stop, please. God dang. Goody boy. Say fudge. Say something funny instead. Like when I want to stop cursing, because I realize that, you know, I'm sure everyone has the phase, and you either stay in it or you go out of it. I get one of it. The phase where you just start cursing, and you just start saying like your brain loses the power, the ability to talk, and you just devolve into curse words, right? We all have that phase. We all have it. I refuse to believe you don't have it. Maybe Christian people don't have it because they just like, oh, curse words bad, so they don't say it. They just never say it. But during my teenagerhood, I had two friends that I really liked, and we were close, and they were Christian. If I remember what was the thing, they were Christian. I think they were Christian. Yeah. And so because I would hang out with them often, and I wasn't cursing like all the time. I was not cursing, but I would say like ass and stuff, like or like those are not great words. And I would sometimes slip and say like a curse word. Very little. Which, you know, it's not very nice because for them it's not nice to say such things. So I taught myself to switch the words up. You know, like, you know, your parents also like, you should not say those words. And I'm very like obedient. As a kid and teenager, I was still very obedient. So I would try to not curse. So what I learned to do is just say like pudding and fudge, and then that's what I thought it was funny. And me liking to be funny, so I can learn the mood. I'm level 59. How am I level 59 already? And so we're just something F word. Now I say frick a bit more. I say frick, like frisk, like Undertale, right? So I used to say like fudge because it's fudge. It's food. I would say peanut butter. You know, like switch it up. It's very annoying. Take it for a surprise. It's funny. It's like, what do you say? Oh, it's just some fudge. Yeah, a little pudding. Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, and tasty, right? Yeah. So obviously, it also means that, in a way, what's interesting when you do it like that is, by doing so, you train yourself at being better at controlling yourself. Like when you're very angry, of course you're gonna like burst a curse word somewhere. Like it's highly probable that you do it because you're angry, you didn't control yourself. By forcing and learning to not curse, obviously like out of anger and stuff, it means that you learn to control yourself better. It's very good because it's mean like you're able to make yourself calmer. Like, oh, I'm angry. It's like, okay, calm down. You know, it's a very nice thing. People having rage issues, really good to like try and focus on not curse, and maybe you'll learn to control yourself better. It's nice. I think it's nice. I think also maybe you just don't stop doing what makes you rage. Maybe maybe that could also be a good thing. No items. Advocate. The thing though, for sure. If I remember one thing that made me rage is playing For Honor. I used to play For Honor. I mean, used to. I didn't play because I had a friend that played. Like, was going to fit it closer, so I think I did enjoy the game. I love it, the Nabuki, the Japanese warrior with like the long stick. I really liked it. But the game will be like so. There's so many things that the game never teaches you. It's like out of context, like you to learn them. The game was really competitive. Friends that I would find it just pure competitive. It was very unpleasant. And when I would mostly play by myself, so I had to deal with randoms. And it was just like not pleasant. And I cursed a lot during those times because I was just getting angry literally all the time. And so it just set up on to playing. I'm just having fun playing the game. And I think after that I started playing Rainbow Six Siege. Then you said like, oh, then you're even more. No, I actually really like Rainbow Six Siege. And I did do some rank. Before someone said, oh, but you never did rank. I did rank. Rank was really boring. Rank is so boring. It's so unfun. It's not raging. It's just not fun. I can easily get to gold. But it's like, it's just so boring. You want to just like, I'm waiting on the objective. I'm rolling. I want to just do a freaking casual and just YOLO in there, like with no worry in the world. Like, whoa. Oh, stress in the world, like something way more fun. Woo! Obviously, if you have a squad stuff, it can be fun. But like, if it's squad you have in Rainbow Six Siege, again, it's just competitive. It's like 1v1. It's like, I'm just having fun playing my video game. Playing Frost, having fun trapping people. It's like, oh, clump, I killed someone. I really like Frost. Frost is the best wife. She's also Canadian. Yay! Go Canada. But yeah, after Rainbow Six Siege, I was playing Final Fantasy, and now I'm here. Hi. That's my story. I mean, no, I played a lot of Dark Souls games between those. Yeah. Then I guess I'll play Final Fantasy. Yeah. Oh, it goes to go and level 60. Holy Christ. I'll just do it normally. I'm scared of you. I'm one level above you. Somehow. That's why he's so much enchanting, you know? Enjoy. All he does is casting things. That at sword time, like now, we're many of it. Whoosh. Location. Add a spawn. Kill the ad. They don't want to use it. Getting healing here. Pretty safe. Doing mechanics. Respecting the mechanics. Anyway, I'm dead. Don't have to worry about them anymore. Very big raid when you think about it, right? Very big raid. 30 minutes left. That's fine. And he goes in the middle. Do a scream. Somebody scream. You got terror and target. And children. It did no damage. Oh wow. Compared to the higher floor one, I'm actually surprised it didn't. I like group breaker in here to be safe. You know, safety. I like safety. Safety in Paradise is like by far the most useful thing. If you can be safe, be safe. This is your first time. If you're not comfortable with something, be safe instead. Don't risk like a big brain strat. Except if you tell yourself I can do it. And if you study it correctly, like in Machinist, my first Machinist run, the snake boss, I took the risk because I didn't know how to do him with Machinist, because I couldn't just heal through regular cure like all his attacks. I didn't have a good healing mechanism, so I had to learn a new strategy. So I looked up a new strategy and I had to learn it on the go. Very stressful. Then I did it and it worked really well. No? Alright, let's go to it. We're level 60 already, so should be a piece of cake. Alright, let's do this fast and effective. Fortune, sure. I reckon there's so much cargo in here. Watch this. There won't be any left for the higher floors. Like backstabbing. You see that? It's gorgeous. You see here with the displacement, if it was that door again, I would have died again. So it's not always just displacement on my free will. Oh wait, there's a bronze coffer there. Chances are very low, but most of it could still give me a potsherd, which means 20 potions. It is worth to go for. And there's the things down. I need to do like a list of like enemies to watch out for. The displacement. The roamer obviously are no more jumping back. Okay, that's not the exit. Oh god, the emboldenment just blinded me. Nightmare demons! Oh, this creature, there's demons everywhere! Boogie, boogie, boogie everywhere! Boogie, boogie. Ow. I could maybe get a trap, the chest. A witching. Okay, bye. Hello, sir. Don't mind me, an little elephant. Lost in the depths of a dungeon with many dead and traps. Nothing natural here. Weird. No. Everything's normal in here. Ooh, chest. A flight. I mean, I don't need enemies anymore. I'm level 60, so can do it. Affluence. Ooh, flight plus affluence. I did hear that a flight plus affluence combo can be very effective in the other floors, because the chance of there's apparently a lot more enemies in the below floor. Wait, how? Yeah, from the 176 to like the end, there's apparently a lot of enemies can spawn. A lot of them. And they're really big, and a lot of like distance aggro, which make it really hard to deal with. But in general, like you would use a flight to lower the amount of enemies so you can move, juggle better around. Put in the affluence so you can have more chests to loot. If you can loan commander to try and get back up at least. Like one good rage, you're back out of the back hole, you know. Back on the freeway. Oh god, manticores, there's so many manticores. I also heard that the floor one night, again, I watched a whole guide of like a 3-hour guide for like every floor and every enemy. Like, good info. I could link it. Can I link it? I feel like, you know what? I'll link it in the chat. So we're talking about it. It's a guide by the name made by Sig. I know about it because it was shared through it was shared by someone in the forget the word, in Andrew's Dominus chat. We're talking about it, and yeah, he shared it and watched it. I was like, it's very useful. If you're doing your first time in here, watch it for sure. It's so well. He does it for Red Mage, but from 1 to 200, everything, every boss, every enemy. Like this one's scary. This one you should like do it still. You know, very very useful. Obviously, watching runs of people is also very useful because you can see what they're doing, and that's actually is a very good thing to watch. Right now, I want to like watch more Andrew's Dominus, but he does it at Evan High. I don't run, so I don't really need to watch it. I don't have to. Oh shit! I don't. What's the word? Like, it doesn't give me anything to watch right now. If I was doing more Past Dead, then you could see more of like the below late floors, because I've never done those. I would love to. I could watch some old VODs of it. I could. You know what? I should. Sure should do that. Nights are rain. Gosh, dang, did I fast. Oh, wasn't AoE. Ah, it's fine. You can see like I'm really like just super smooth. Don't care about anything here. That's what I want to practice, at least in the lower floors. I want to practice being sneaky. Because it's really important to be sneaky in the later floor. Learn the aggro, use that to your advantage, be fast, make quick decisions. I think there's like something. There's no noise. Ow! Oh, I lost my thing. The both side, yeah. Side is by far the nicest. Aggro. I steal? Ooh, free steal. Give me. Give the elephant the power. Power! Oh, hi. Oh, there's two rating one. Hi, how you doing? Scatter. Scatter strength is boosted, by the way, when you use the thing. I was gonna kill. If I use acceleration, increase velocity of scatter by 50, which brings it the action velocity 170, which is the same as Jolt. So it's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not horrible either, you know. I've lost? Sure. I don't use lost like early floors because like I don't need them. You can, if you have like many of them, like sure, why not? Go ahead, have fun. But other than that, I don't need to use them. I think for if you're doing your first run Past Dead, right? One thing you could always do, because these first floor, like I'm just running in, no care in the world. I mean, being careless, you know. It doesn't really matter. But because I'm used to it at this point. But if you want to practice something, you'd always, if you want to play like the aggro, like moving around the enemies and like try to sneak by, see like being efficient in your time and stuff. Look at runes, guide enemy through runes, which are all very useful skills in later floors. You could try to do that now. This is a yeah. Oh! I tried to beat Fresha. The thing I was about to say is that you could also, oh come on. You could also try to what is it? I was going to say something I forgot. Oh frick. You could try to like be very paranoid. That sounds weird, but I'm not joking. By learning to be paranoid, you can be more like going to a room like left and right. Or is there an enemy like stuck in the wall, something like that? You know, be more wary of your surrounding. I swear, give me a sight when I just put a trap. God dang it! It's like when you enter a room, like you wait, look left, right, you look in your back. Being used, like look around. For like look on the room here. Is there a rumor? Is a rumor coming up this room? No, you know. Because I know there's branch in my way, so it's harder. But I can do it. It's surely in 151 and above. Like there's really there's almost no wall. It's very free to look around. So that's like it's very free to look around. Like you can see two rooms far. You can see, oh, this room has like enemy I could kill, but the one in front of me, I should try to avoid. Try to sneak by because gosh dang, it's two Triceratops. They're gonna massacre my hell. Or something like that. Like right now, I would like to try and level the Gargoyle because Gargoyle in 151 will wreck my crap. It's a side enemy from behind them. There we go. I know that Gargoyle are very bad. I know that Midnight. Oh god. See, now I know that this is too close for side enemies. Need to learn. Learn from the mistake. Take a mistake in the floor that you can. Always. never pull in the room. Try to pull like outside the room, like being careful. Learn to be careful earlier as far early you could. Be paranoid. I'm not, because I'm just confident and I know I won't die here. Especially since I have 9999 my triple. But if you're like 28 triple each, you might die here. Like the boot and knight that got me like to half health, they could have killed someone. I've just done this so often, it's like I'm used to it, you know? Look at that kiting, that's amazing kiting. Really good hit. I'm used to it. The perfect example, I get a learning trap, I'm like, I shut up, I look what I got, I killed both knight, get the boot. The boot could paralyze me, but the knight hit more. It's harder. Obviously, what's the best thing to have past that is experience. For sure, of course. That's nothing that, like, if you, I remember, I think back when Asmongold was playing Final Fantasy 14, and I used to watch him. I stopped watching. Even when I used to watch him, I was like forcing myself to, because I was just like curious what he would say about the game, since it was he's such like a huge WoW player. I was just interested like what he had to say about the game as someone just interested. To see like how someone outside the game, who is a big MMO player, what do you think about it? Because I don't freaking know. I never played an MMO before. Like, if this is my first MMO, I enjoyed it a lot. No second thoughts. So I was really curious about that. But in general, I really hate the guy. I hate his personality a lot. Anyway, when he was doing his first Pass of the Dead run, he shared it, and he died at like 146 by a Gravekeeper. Like, the guy didn't have much experience with the class. And he died, and that was a thing. I know how many attempts he put it before showing the YouTube video, but I think for sure that he died to a pretty simple situation. He could have gone out pretty easily. But like, when it's your first time, you're like, you get a Gravekeeper on your butt, you're like, oh god, you panic. You try to do things, you try to like pressure your tank, and then you might be screwed. You try to look at your commander, maybe you wait for like, no, it was a bad time. He didn't have the experience, so didn't know what to do. The worst thing you could do, as someone once told me, I don't know told me, but as Andreas Dominus once said, what hurts the most is dying with a full permanent inventory. Because dying with a full permanent inventory, it's like, well, you could have used a steal, you could have used a strength, you could use all these commanders. You could have done so much, but no, you died. Also, I'm pulling Gravekeeper because I can kill them at this point, but again, practice. If you're for a very skilled enemy on, practice them roaming around you, practice walking around. What? I'm gonna do that right now. Because I was told there's many roamers in the very late floors which are all sound enemies. So I should practice that. To walk. What's I didn't know, there's no walkie on the controllers, so got to deal with that. Oh, I found the door. Oh, sweet. You see, the best way to not make someone walking is just dunk stuff. But yeah, the Gravekeeper thing is the best enemy to practice, because here, like, they'll hurt you, but you hard. But like, I think they're the hardest hitting enemy in the early floor, but they're not like too deadly. Still deadly, but not too much. The Bloodhound is a side enemy. You just stick in his booty. Oh, dragons. Hi, dragons. That's a little boy. I'm gonna stab you. Oh. Wait. Oh, there's a gravekeeper in there. Oh god, okay. It's now I'm scared because now there's a lot of them. This is actually a very bad situation. I want to get the crew out right away because he hurts the most. In the night. Distance. I can't put my distance between him. They're gonna, by himself is okay. Okay. Getting drain traps early on is also good because you can practice looking quick and making a quick decision. Oh, a free rage? Oh, heck yeah. Oh, was right here. Ah, frick. I didn't see the exit right next to me. He lost. Ooh, bunches. Potions. Everywhere. But yeah, like when I got the trap hit, I was like, alright, what do I have? Because now there's dragons. Dragons are pretty one of the easier. I saw the knight. I was like, the knight's like, alright, let's get the knight down. But then when I looked for the third enemy, I saw a gravekeeper. I was like, oh. Even though I said I could get a gravekeeper at this level, that is by far one of the worst things that could happen. Like, see, gravekeeper? Gonna walk. We're good, we're buddies. You can cast, you can attack, as long as you don't run, you get clean. I need to pull the dragon, I could pull the gravekeeper. Oh, it's still. It's nice. Also, again, as always, I'll fight Edda without anything because I just like the fight a lot. And I don't mind the fight dragging on. Oh. Spin walking still work, by the way. As long as you're walking. So again, in the room here, you set up enemies. You see the easier one, pull the easier one. And beg the RNG god that you're gonna have to fight more, you know? Look out for the roamers. There's no roamer right now, I can just keep going, go in the room, keep it safe, do some kiting. Look at the other room, there's no roamer. You wanted to be in this room, stay in the room, I don't need more chests. All I want is to leave the place. So I stay in the room. I can leave now. Fortunately not. Alright, well. A really good thing is that when you find the exit in your own time, don't start. You could, if you can fight the enemy, fight them the closest to the exit. Don't just go the opposite side. Just find like the easiest enemy to fight if there's one. Fight what's close to you. The walking time is too much. But hey, time to fight you again. Dark Purvis, yeah, first thing she does. You're casting, please. Yep. Ow. Also, by the way, the fact that we have 2 core core and 2 displacement, oh, it's amazing. It's so useful. I can do it so many more. 2 feet. That's a don't look. Quick, you're doing that. Ooh, what? I would not have core at this point, but I have it now because there's a 2 stack of core, which is amazing. It just makes the White Mage way more mobile. It's really cool. It's really good. I pretty allergic. Ooh, it's a disease. I'm slower, and my healings heal less. Alright, don't look. No wounds to you. This will over here. Also a little tip, if you do Red Mage, always, if you think you're gonna use Valkyrie a lot, always, no matter what, pop the Lucid Dreaming on. Like my hotbar right now is all my level 60 kills. Level 60 skills. Nothing else. My red mage is solely for this fight, for this content only. Maybe that's a bit extreme. You can maybe you play red mage like on raids and stuff. So you just like, personally I like having this hotbar because it's only like 60 skills. But you saw, I think having viewing like there to be able to be click and being seen on cooldown. Again, I play on controller. It'd be wholly different if you're on keyboard because you have more space to put stuff in. Oh yeah, the gold algorithm, right? You're right. Oh, by the way, if you don't know, the bosses attack in every floor of the game, every single boss, they always have the same loop. No matter what, Demon will always do the same attack in the same order. It's always the same fight every time. It's always the same thing. It always does the same attack in the same order every time. Every time. So if you're really an extremist, you could, if you want, learn every single boss pattern perfectly, and then fight the boss. You can't do that. Maybe like the time that you spend doing it, maybe you'll help. Or it's like people saying like, oh, I watched a video on the raid, I can do the Resage raid like first try. That's the same thing as that. So watching a video and doing it, it's different. It's not the same. It's because you watch a clear video that, oh, I've cleared, I watched a video. No. It doesn't work like that, love. Pretty big agreeing, but nah. Oh no, Wendy, we're going to the exit because you're gonna die real soon. But yeah. And then. Thanks Ada for a great fight. I love it though. She's a great boss fight. I love her. It's what I think is most fun with it is that when you're with party of 4, because you're like, I don't know, going through trying to get more butchered, or because you get one guaranteed from the 150, right? Trying to get more butchered because the guaranteed 50, or you're getting with friends. Oh, is that the paladin sword? It's a samurai sword. Have you seen this sword? Wait, it's not that Suken sword. It's a really cool sword. Elephant. Oh. Yeah. It's really fun when you go in 4 people, and the 4 people die of Black Honeymoon, but you survive because you have high HP pool, and for cures, or heals. Ooh, what's that? The Falconer shirt? I never got that shirt before. And like, you have to solo in front of 3 people that just dead because there's no healer raise possible during the fight. It's like, doing pretty good. Oh yeah. I love it. I did that my times. Oh, it's a running limit. Oh, cool. It's like, what was it? I think I was practicing my knives for the first time, right? How much is that? That's 10k. Oh heck yeah. That's like a body chest. I was doing my knife for the first time. I was like, I want to play as machinist because I never done past death, so I would join I did 1 to 100 to like to see how it felt a bit. I would like go by my own way most of the time. And I wish Ada and people they just all died to Black Honeymoon, so I started using my potions because I didn't want people to wipe for them because I think they were their first time. No, so I carried them. Are you gonna learn them through? I started using my recent potion with my kiness. Not too much because I could carry the boss the entire way. But I found out that it's really hard to just like go in and out compared to like Red Mage, you can just go in, go out easier. Other than that, the part was just a bit easier. That was just the harder part. But yeah, then it was like, how do you do it? Like, I'm used to it. It was really fun. Like, it felt like I know this content a bit too much. But yeah. Wait, no, that's advisor. Hi. I died at 151. I feels dumb. Happens. Oh, is that one of the sad mistakes that can happen during this content? But hey, that's life. I guess I hope you're all looking for more getting back up there. Hey, fun. So yeah, wish you all a good night. I'm gonna end this stream now. My throat's running short a bit. I'm hungry. I'll be doing other stuff. I want to get my P2S cleared for the week. I'm gonna rewind it if I can. So wish you all a good night. I'll see you tomorrow for Most of the Dead because apparently I'm still stuck doing this. Hooray! I actually don't know what I'll do after I'm done with this. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe I'll just do like casual stuff, like try to do my actually doing my quests for my jobs. I don't have Enshroud. I need to do mine. I need to get Enshroud. Yeah, I need to get Enshroud. I really want to get people with my Enshroud because apparently I lose my tail, my Mikote tail, and I'm like, ooh. I'm interested how I look with Enshroud. I don't know. I heard I mean that, oh, everyone turns into ears when it was like, oh. Sounds pretty funny. Alright, anyway, we should have a good night. You can find all past one on my YouTube channel. And all my past dead runs are there in a nice little playlist. You can see them, or go and check my other games I've played. I've played Enter the NC Friendchild and other things. I should play Kirby. I love Kirby. Anyway, Twitter, when I go live, I say that, even though today's tweet was like, oh, we're gonna go freaking behemoth. Yeah, watch me kill Edda again today. How was it? The usual 250. Yay! Again in almost 2 hours. Doing great. We were level 60 when entering 41. We got so much experience. It took longer, but god dang, 41 to 50 was just a joke. It was a pure joke. Amazing. Anyway, yeah, and Instagram for jewelry that I've made, crafted myself, 3D programming with myself. So yeah, have a good one. See you tomorrow, and goodbye. Bye bye.